Aloha. You're listening to the Rolling Vets podcast by veterans, for veterans, and civilians alike. I'm Chris Ellis, your co-host, and I'm flanked by my Marine veteran, Lucas Moss, and our guest speaker, Tori Sneed. We'd like to extend an invitation to you, the listener, to journey inside of our realm and discover what it means to be a rolling vet.
Not bad.
There we go. I fucked it up a little bit. We're good. So, Tori, nice to have you on.
You're welcome. First female. This is a big idea. This is a big deal.
Yes.
Yeah, first awesome. Female, first Air Force member, previous.
Yep.
Yes, a twofer. I win.
A twofer.
Tell us about yourself. When did you go in?
I enlisted in 2006. I was actually in DEP, so delayed entry program, for almost a year because Hurricane Katrina happened. Right as I was supposed to go through basic training.
Nice.
And funny story, my husband now was actually in tech training at Keesler whenever Hurricane Katrina came through. He was one of the 100 students they kept there to gather classified material after the hurricane.
Damn.
So he was like hanging out in the building watching the whole thing happen.
So what led you to join? Like what was going on in your life and you're like, I, Tori Sneed, need to sign on this dotted line to pledge myself for. You ended up doing 13 years total, 3 reserves, 10 active duty. So what led to that?
Born and raised in Mobile, I really wanted to just go elsewhere. My mom begged me not to do it right out of high school. So I did a year of college that was paid for from her savings, and I was doing art, like studio art, drawing, painting, that kind of stuff. And I didn't really see a career path for that. And I didn't really know what to do with myself at 18, like most people.
Yeah.
So I was like, I'll go join the military. So my dad
that's a 180. That's a complete opposite end of the spectrum.
Well, not really, because I went to Catholic school. 1st through 12th grade. So like the uniforms wasn't a new thing. Having to follow directions wasn't a new thing. I mean, it was pretty restrictive school wise.
Yeah. Because that's still the Bible Belt down there, huh? In Mobile.
Oh yeah. Yes,
oh, yeah?
Definitely. Catholics are a big population in Mobile.
Oh wow.
So what led you to the Air Force then, out of all the branches?
I don't like the water that much. It's okay, not great, don't want to live on it. I heard Marines don't get treated great. And I wasn't that strong.
Who said that?
What? Yeah.
And my dad
was nice
Army.
Where I went.
My dad was Army. He was in Desert Shield and Desert Storm along with my uncle. My grandpa was actually a Marine in Vietnam, so family history there.
Nice.
But my dad was like, "You will not join the Army. I will not sign that paperwork." It's like, okay, guess it's the Air Force then.
Yeah. Wow. So, and I've heard you, because we met in class, and I've heard you refer to the Air Force as like, it's more of a corporate structure than any of the military branches. So what do you mean by that when you say it's more of a corporate structure?
It's a little different when you're overseas versus when you're stateside. So when you're stateside, it's more like you do your job and you go home at the end of the day. A ton of people don't really interact once you leave the office.
Yeah, that was I actually spent some time on an Air Force base in Tokyo. I was there for an operation called Keen Edge for a month, and that's when my first introduction of like operating on a Air Force base. And it was like a mind blowing to them that like we woke up at like 4 a.m. to like go like draw rifles, or 3 a.m. to go draw rifles, or like stand in duty was like a concept that like they didn't understand and stuff like that. I was like, what? I joined the wrong fucking branch, all right?
You do, because you do a little bit of that in basic, like guard duty.
Yeah.
But in practicality, I've never used that. I brought my chem gear and my flak vest and my helmet all on my deployment, and I never touched it. It gathered dust for 7 months. It was under my bed the whole time.
That's fucking that's insane. And
so
he's not issued a weapon, nothing.
Can't have it. Can't do it.
No. So it was like a normal day for you. So I read your document you sent us, and you said that you were in computers and stuff like that when you first started. Yeah. So that's actually what I did too. I'm a sysadmin now. That's my job after. So Did you continue with that when you left the Air Force, or what do you do now?
Now, well, I'm a student at Anne Arundel Community College with Lucas, studying communications. I'm actually trying to get back into public relations.
Okay,
which
awesome.
was the job I had when I got out of active duty.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that was so when you were, do they call it, so with the MOSs, so every MOS, every branch has their different system and where they do the MOSs. So your first one, and correct me if I say it incorrectly, would be 3 Charlie 071. Is that how they would say it?
That's what I was, yeah, when I got out. So
okay, so that's how they say it, and that's the computer system admin, and then you were a 3 Delta 151, which is computer client support. So what's the difference between that and then the system admin?
They had like a merging of a bunch of different career fields, and I got pulled into, because I was on maternity leave at the time and didn't have a say in the matter.
Okay.
They put me at the help desk essentially. I worked the help desk for 4 years.
Damn.
Nice.
It was horrible.
And then you
turn it off and turn it back on.
And so when you got active duty, is that when you switched to the 3 November 051 public affairs photo?
No, actually, I was force cross trained. There's a program whenever career fields are too big in the Air Force called the Nco RP, which is the Nco Retraining program. So if they have too many E5s, in my case, they're like, either you pick a job or we'll pick a job for you.
Like their field became too crowded?
Yeah, because they did the merger. They were downsizing at that time. This was 2012, 2013.
Okay.
And they were like, either you pick a job or we'll pick a job for you. And I wanted to come in as a photographer anyway.
Yeah.
That was my first pick. When I joined the Air Force, it wasn't available. So I got to retrain into it. I actually dropped a bunch of jobs that I was looking at, like drone operator and a couple other flying positions. I dropped my flight physical so I could get that job.
Really?
Yeah.
And so it was always your calling to begin with. That's the one you wanted.
I enjoy photography, but it wasn't just that. It was journalism and like crisis communication and media interaction. It's a whole bunch of stuff all piled into one job.
Yeah. So you wrote pieces as well?
Yeah, I did personality pieces. I really enjoyed those. Actually, on a couple of people that I was in the honor guard with, I followed them because I was in the honor guard for almost 2.5 years out of my.
And what's the honor guard?
The honor guard, depending on where you are, when I was at Meade the first time, it was just colors for retirements and ceremonies. And then whenever I was at Eglin in Florida, we did funerals as well.
Oh, okay. That sounds.
It's had to be like a pretty it's also a pretty honorable like situation too. Like you get to do, like, we call it color guard in the Marine Corps, like color guard for, like, veterans. I mean that'd be something pretty cool to experience, and be a part of.
Yeah, it was always very like kind of uplifting, but also sad at the same time, because you're there with the family as they're grieving. But most of them that we did were veterans, right? So most of them have lived a pretty full life.
Yeah. I had a combat instructor. So all Marines have to go through combat training, even if you're not like an infantry. So like infantry would do 2 months of it, but everyone has to do at least a month of it. And I had one of my combat instructors was telling this story how when he got to the fleet, he got sent on color guard, and because he was like a private first class, he didn't really have a choice, and they had to do some wedding. No, they had to do a funeral for one of like the former commandants of the Marine Corps. And it was like it was in New Orleans, and it was like the middle of the fucking summer, and like they all went and got hammered drunk the night before.
No.
And, so now and then they're wearing their dress blues the next, in the fucking hot sun. And the dress blues are probably the most uncomfortable uniform like ever, like known to man.
Can't fucking move.
You literally can't believe how hot those shoes get, man. Those black shoes.
Hot as fuck.
Yes. Because I was in Northwest Florida. It is murder to stand in the sun with those shoes.
Yeah, this shit will melt. Literally. Yeah, it'll just melt right onto the fucking pavement. And so he's dehydrated as fuck. and he's standing there, you know, and he's in front, and he has the rifle in his hand because they're right about to do the 21 gun salute, and he's just standing there, and he's feeling like himself, like going in and out of it, and in and out of it, and like his hearing is coming and going, like won't. And he tried to tell someone behind him to come replace him. He's like, I'm going down. Like he's like, fuck, I think I'm going down.
No.
But so he's like, he thinks he's whispering this, but because he can't hear shit, because he's right about to pass out, it was really like, fuck, I'm going down. Holy shit, I'm about to fucking go down, and like screaming this in the middle of the funeral.
And the family's like, what?
And then he passed out.
Oh god.
So he got his ass chewed later is what I'm hearing.
Yeah.
Good God.
Yeah, that's fucking crazy shit. But anyways, so that was your honor guard for which part of your 10-year career?
Kind of right in the middle. Before I cross-trained into public affairs, I did the stint in, well, it's different. So like at Meade, it was an additional duty. You do your job and then it's part-time. So you volunteer.
Oh, you have to volunteer. So you volunteered for it.
It depended on the base. So when I was at Eglin, they'd take you out of your job.
Yeah.
Because I was tired of being in the help desk. I was like, I need to do something else.
Yeah.
And they were like, well, we can go put you in honor guard because we got to send somebody.
Yeah.
I was like, all right, send me. I'll go. I ended up doing a lot of the scheduling and like planning for the unit.
Oh, that's pretty dope.
I was the only female NCO there. So they were like, Mom, you can take care of everybody.
So you were the mom then?
Yes, I like literally had to go tell people your uniform stinks. You need to go wash it and take a shower.
God damn.
Yeah, because the other NCOs would come up and be like, so and so, they smell, their locker smells. They smell. Can you do something about it? I was like, why don't you just tell them? You're all adults. Well, he had just done like 3 weeks worth of funerals. Back to back and didn't have time to bring his dress blues into the dry cleaners.
He smelled like a dead body himself.
Yeah. I mean, we're not super close to the family anyway, so it didn't really matter. But everybody else could smell him. And I was like, all right, I'm going to schedule you a break. Go get your stuff cleaned. You smell.
So I got a question. So you join the Air Force, you meet characters from all around the country. I mean, we had some of the dumbest motherfuckers ever in our unit. So did you have some like complete fucking idiots in the Air Force, or are you all too smart for that?
I mean, the lowest ASVAB score for us is like 45 security forces. Generally, I mean,
ours is like 32.
I mean, in general, the guys that were like either CE or security forces need a little more help than others.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't say anybody was like completely stupid, because if they were, they would be chaptered out like failure to
adapt.
Yeah. We don't do that. We just let them ride. We just let them ride me, and we like just haze the fuck out of them for 4 years.
Or we just ship them around to places doing
that
work
happens
at the
a lot
range.
too. It's like, we can't deal with this kid. Send him to another office. Yeah, that was a lot of passing around. Kind of how it went.
And then, so you mentioned you were the only female NCO at that time.
So
Chris and I, we were in an infantry unit up, and until I think 2018, there had been no females in infantry units like at all. The female that came to our unit was the first one ever. And she wasn't even technically a combat MOS. So we literally never worked with any females whatsoever, like at all.
Yeah.
If we saw them, it was only in passing on base or something. Like never worked with any of them.
Yeah.
Well, being in comm, I was one out of my unit of 200 when I was in Northwest Florida. I was maybe one of 10 or maybe at most 20 females in a 200-person unit. So being the only girl in office was not unusual for me.
Yeah.
When I got to public affairs, it was a lot more even. Actually, it was like 2/3 female to 1/3 male.
Yeah.
And that was unusual for me. It was kind of awkward to know if girls were being catty or not. And some of them they were really like backstabby.
Damn. So like the drama style. So did you ever feel like there was like in a workplace, in a co-ed workplace, that the struggles that most establishments and organizations are worried about is like, one, like the cohesion between the two, or and three, like, or two, like the possibility of like romance getting in the way and like being a detriment to their work or workplace?
I mean, before I got married, I dated people in my unit. I mean, you got to be a professional about that, even if you're banging somebody that you work with. You still got to go to work the next day, and even if you stop banging, you still got to do your job. So
yeah.
I mean, on that front, I didn't have an issue, but I had some older senior NCOs kind of treat me a little differently because I was a girl.
Yeah.
And not believe what I was saying, even though I was the most experienced person.
Yeah.
They kind of pushed me aside, like, you don't know what you're talking about, and they'd ask the airman who was lower ranked than me the same question, and they would give me the same answer, and he'd be like, "Oh, okay." What the fuck, man?
Yeah. So there was some discrimination then.
Yeah,
but
it was generally like the old crotchety, like you could tell that they were in general, like it was one or two out of my whole career.
Yeah.
They were like generally women haters. Like
the
they had a bad
breed.
experience with a woman. Yeah, like their wife cheated on them or something like that. I don't know the whole story, but that's kind of how it was. They didn't like women in general. So it wasn't me.
I never like worked with any like females like under me at all. But I do gotta say, like, I had a few Marines under me. I was a sergeant when I got out. And I don't think I could yell at a female the way I yell at one of my males. Because like when they fuck up and they fuck over again, I let them fucking have it. But I don't think I would feel like a fucking douchebag just yelling at a girl. Like, oh man, I don't know how to do it.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Yeah,
I mean, sometimes you gotta turn on the waterworks.
I know. Something. I never had to, so I was never put in that situation. But I don't think I could.
They were more strict. The women that were above me.
You think because of like you felt like they had to be, or like they felt obligated, like they needed to be that way because they were a female in that position?
Either you were really nice commander, senior NCO, and you were like a slut or whatever they would put you in if you were really nice.
Yeah.
Or you were a bitch, and you were a bitch to everybody, and you were throwing people under the bus. So once you get to like tech and above, E6 and above, you're categorized in either one of those two.
Really?
So I was really hard on everybody below me in public, but like if I'm counseling them one-on-one or they need help with something, I was really nice to them in private, and I told them not to tell anybody. It's like I pay for their lunch if we all go out to lunch together, because I knew they were struggling with whatever.
Yeah.
Don't tell anybody I paid for your lunch, or I'll deny that shit, and you have to do whatever.
Yeah.
So it's you gotta be strict in my experience, as NCO, a female NCO.
As a female NCO, even more strict than a male.
Yeah, because you gotta prove your worth. You're not inherently strong.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or seen as strong, or like perceived as strong. Do you from the female perspective, do you think do you guys categorize males in a certain way when they reach a certain rank, or is it just another thing, just another day in the life?
Just as people in general, once you get to like E5, you're either going to prove yourself as a good leader or you're a shitbag, and you're going to stay that rank until you get out. Yeah, that's kind of how it goes. I didn't really take much into consideration whether you're male or female, as long as you do the damn job.
Yeah,
I didn't care,
Yeah.
But of course, there's always that one like dirtbag. It's like, oh, we can't rely on them because they're not going to do the work.
Yeah.
Oh, you're always going to have dirtbags everywhere.
Yeah. The 10%. That's what they used to say. The fucking bottom 10%.
More than that sometimes.
Yeah, it does feel like that, more than that sometimes. So obviously your husband was not in that 10%. You met him, you said, and that was your first duty station?
No, I met him in Korea. So
in
my
Korea?
Second duty station. Yep.
Oh wow. Where in Korea were you?
I was at Osan.
Osan. Okay, we were like in Mujuk for a little bit.
I have no idea where that is.
I have no idea where Osan is either.
It's north of Pohang. Oh, so we're like probably 2.5 hours, 3 hours apart.
Yeah.
So it was like Yongsan is in the capital, and then we were 2-hour train ride south, and then Kunsan is another 2 hours south. And Kunsan's like a little nowhere.
Yeah, we were close to that because we were about 4 hours from Seoul. Yeah.
Yeah, probably close to Kunsan.
Yeah. Fucking.
They would come up to where we were to do stuff, and we would go
Yeah.
up to Seoul to do stuff.
Yeah, that's probably one of the worst experiences of my entire life, I would say.
Why?
Was Korea. Like they just, I mean, I don't even want to talk about it because I feel like I'm gonna have like a Vietnam flashback, like being there.
Other than like the quarterly exercises, for us it was so easy. But I was pregnant while I was there.
Yeah.
So I might have gotten it a little bit easier.
Did you have your kid in Korea?
No, I actually had him.
Oh.
I was 6.5 months pregnant when I flew back.
Okay.
Yeah.
Would they have let you have your kid there?
If my husband was also stationed there,
okay,
maybe, but normally no.
Why didn't they fly him to you?
We weren't married at the time.
Oh, okay.
We got married 3 years after my son was born.
Okay.
He knows.
Yeah. Because I was about to say, I was like, that's kind of fucked up. They make the pregnant woman fly.
Well, we dated for 3 months before that happened.
Oh, was it an accident?
I mean, I'm not saying it wasn't, but I mean, he's upstairs, so he doesn't need to know.
He's on the need to know basis. Okay, all right. So that happened. Yeah. And then you guys was it already like an intimate, like we're seriously dating relationship before all that, or did it just just came on?
Shit just happened, and
it just happened.
He actually PCS'd like right the week before I found out I was pregnant. So yeah, like we did this whole goodbye thing, and we were gonna date.
That'd been crazy.
And then I was like, I went to go get a surgery done actually in Seoul, and they made me wait all day. The doctor was like, you need to wait in the waiting room. They made me wait all day. I hadn't eaten or drank anything. I had my friend with me as my escort, and the doctor called me in the office and was like, you're 4 weeks pregnant. Like, what? Excuse me? You want to repeat that to me? It's like, here's the paperwork. You are barely pregnant. Because I'd taken a test the day of, and I'd taken the test a couple days before.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was fun. And I went outside and showed my friend the paperwork, and she was like, "You're what?" And like the whole waiting room like looked at us. I was like, "Shut up! We got to figure this shit out now."
Holy shit!
Yeah, it was kind of a whirlwind.
Yeah, it sounds like it. So what is your experience as a pregnant airman in the Air Force? Like, how are you treated differently? How is your day-to-day different from like any other day?
Nothing really changed. I got a maternity uniform. Woo.
Yeah.
Elastic in the pants. Yes. I got to wear tennis shoes. I didn't have to participate in the chem exercises after my 3rd month. So I did have to participate before that.
That's pretty fucked up.
Like gas mask, trying to answer the phone at the help desk, and pregnant.
Jesus
and my
Christ.
coworkers actually wrote like easy bake and taped it all on my chem gear. So I was walking around with like easy bake on my forehead, and everybody was like, what? I was like, don't ask. So yeah, but I did get to, I mean, people hauled my chem gear. I still had to bring my chem gear to work whenever we had an exercise. So like all 40 pounds of it, somebody else had to haul for me because I couldn't lift it. Technically.
So how often are you guys doing like chem exercises?
In Korea, it was
all the time.
At least quarterly, because the base did it quarterly. But if they had like a random, this unit did an exercise. Our unit was a tenant unit. We worked in the classified section, like under the hill. So we did it whenever they felt like it, essentially. So I probably did 4 or 5 when I was there.
Okay.
But I didn't participate in like the last 3.
Okay. And then whenever you're like stateside, like how often? Never?
unless you're deploying, and then you got to do re-up training.
Yeah.
But like they don't put us through the gas chamber or anything again. We only do that in basic training.
Yeah. Yeah. One of my roommates actually in Hawaii, he was in the Air Force, and that he did CBUR and stuff. He was like the chem dude. And I don't think that fucker ever did anything. I don't think he actually went to work and did anything like at all.
There's
like,
some jobs where
Michael's?
you sit around. I mean, I worked in LMR before I cross-trained, which is land mobile radio. We did all like the cop cars and the radios in the ambulance, cell phones, radios, and beepers.
Oh, beepers.
Yes, we still did beepers for like the guys in the hospital. But we did stuff quarterly. We rekeyed the radios quarterly, and that was about it. So I just sat around like twiddling my thumbs for most of a year.
Damn.
Waiting to cross train. It was boring. I hated it.
Yeah.
I like being busy.
What was it like when you became a photographer then?
Always busy. I cross trained and spent a year at Herbert Field, which is special operations. So there's always something going on there.
Before you cross trained, did you have to have some sort of like service obligation? Like if you're gonna go through the training, like you have to sign on for like X amount of years?
Yeah, it depends on how much you had left on your contract.
Yeah.
I think I had just re-upped whenever I got informed that I had to retrain.
Okay.
So I think I was good to go for that one. I did 6 years, 4 years, and 6 years, and then 4 years.
Okay.
So I only did it once or twice.
Once or twice. All right.
I don't remember. It's a lot of paperwork.
Yeah. Jesus. Yeah, and you also PCS 5 times? You were in 7 different units? Jesus Christ.
I was at Meade at the Intel unit here at Meade.
Yeah.
And I also worked, since I was cleared as an airman, I worked cleaning toilets part-time, working like $20 an hour. So I did like 2 hours of work, got paid for 4 hours. I did that 3 or 4 days a week. That was my drinking money as an airman.
So wait. Who hired you to clean these toilets?
There's a contracted company, and they look for military people to come and do this because they're already cleared to get into the NSA building. So like I was cleared to get onto campus.
So you just went to no such agency and cleaned their toilets there?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I was thinking of like just any toilets. I was wondering which toilets you were cleaning.
No, it was like they had contract for certain like sections of the building in the NSA. So.
Okay. So what was the worst toilet you had to clean there?
The ladies' toilets were horrible.
Really?
So, like, whenever I was doing it, the Ally pill came out. I don't know if you remember that. It was like the only FDA cleared like weight loss pill.
Huh.
And what it does is it blocks your body from keeping fat in the intestines. So you literally just shit fat. It is disgusting. I will tell you, I will never take that. Ever. The women's bathrooms are gross because like women squat to pee, they won't like sit on the toilet.
Yeah.
So like, yeah. Oh no. Women are gross.
Damn. All that just to loosen them out.
Calling all y'all out.
Yeah.
I never understood all that craziness with weight loss. Like, yeah, I don't get it.
Hey, you never had to cut like 15 pounds for a weigh-in, right?
I did, yes. Actually, whenever we were in
Oh, you
Mississippi,
did?
I lost 12 and a half pounds in like 6 weeks.
Oh, shit.
I'm talking like 12 hours.
Yeah.
No, but like the last hour that I was driving to the powerlifting competition, I was sitting there sucking on Jolly Ranchers to like spit out the rest of the water weight. Yeah. Yeah, he loaded me down with water the week before, and like the day before he was like, no water. It's like, what?
Yeah, usually do like 2 gallons of water the first day, second day is 1 gallon, next day is a half gallon, next day is a quarter gallon, next day is like a tablespoon just to keep your mouth wet.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was horrible. I would not cut again.
I did 14 pounds in 12 hours one time.
No, it was not that bad. I had a little bit of time.
It was. They're like, oh yeah, we're gonna do height and weight
PT tests.
Well, yeah, that's what I'm saying is like we had to do like the Marine Corps is so strict on height and weight stuff. So
yeah,
Like if you're a fat body, like you're done.
Your life's horrible.
Yeah,
you
That's
have
why
like
I
PT,
never
like
got out.
you could be
you got a PT all the time.
You could be the nicest guy in the world, but they will fucking ruin your life. Like, and yeah, so like that's like it's a scare tactic, you know.
Well, my brother-in-law was in the Marines and he got out for not meeting requirements, I think it was, because he was over the body fat percentage.
Yep.
Oh, he just couldn't lose it.
I guess not. I
mean, they get rid of you. They don't give a fuck.
They're all heavy.
Yep.
Yeah.
They'll keep that. They'll keep the fuck ups. They'll keep people who get NJP'd over for doing stupid shit. But if you're fucking fat, you get your fucking ass out.
That's
all right.
crazy.
It is. Like, it's pretty fucking insane.
And he's super smart too. He was a safety guy for Amazon for a while.
Yeah.
And he's making
doesn't matter in the Marine Corps.
Yeah, apparently.
You gotta run, pull up, and sit up. All right.
Yeah.
And make weight.
Yeah. Well, now it's planks. Now it's planks.
Instead of
I'd rather just do fucking sit-ups.
No, pull-ups. They still do pull-ups. Yeah, they still do pull-ups. But
or the hang.
No,
no, they don't do that.
I don't think the girls do that anymore. I
think it's just pull-ups.
I always thought that was.
They can do push-ups.
I always thought that was a crazy. Oh, this is so. Now we can dive into it. Now we can fucking dive into it. I always thought that was like the craziest fucking thing was like they could do the fucking hang thing compared to just like, you know, actually doing the pull-ups, but. That being said, the female to male standards say, right, hypothetically, now say in real life, because this is actually a real thing, right? You now allow females into a combat MOS, you know, like infantry.
Right.
Infantry has a standard. Do you believe that because females can now participate in that they should lower the standards or have different standards?
I mean, on one hand, there's male and female standards for every other job, but like the people who want to do those kind of jobs, I think would push themselves to that standard. Like a ranger, the female rangers, they're like, oh, they made it easier for them. I don't think they changed anything before those women went through. I'm pretty sure they went through the same as the guys did. Yeah,
they did.
So
I think that was two females, and I don't think there's been any left like since.
I don't know, but I know like the female pilots have the male female standard, and they're put through the same rigors as the guys in their job.
Really? So they have different standards regarding like your qualifications to being a pilot. Like they have different training.
Well, no, I like PT standards. The PT standards for the Air Force is the same across.
But the pilot training is the same.
The pilot training is identical, yeah.
Okay.
As far as I know. I mean, I didn't go through it, so I don't know. But
yeah.
But I'm assuming that they have to do the same thing because they're female F-35 pilots. Yeah. They're female 22 pilots. I don't think they're gonna let them off easy.
Yeah. So you're all for just keeping the standards then, just keeping the standards and having like basically having them meet those standards instead of.
If the job demands the standard, I think that women will rise to meet the standard.
Okay. And that they should. Yeah. And that they should is what you're saying.
Yeah. I think that any woman could probably meet up with at least the lowest level guy in that career field, you know?
Oh yeah. I knew females would kick guys' asses in my unit.
Oh yeah. Yeah. I think I get what like I think what Lucas is trying to say is like if we hold a standard cross for like Navy SEALs or like MARSOC or like all these special force stuff, like that's like the standard of like the operators, and even there's guys that can't meet those standards and stuff that we don't want on the team, you know. Like, nobody wants on the team. Want somebody that can hold their own, and I think like most people are all I'm all towards like females being in combat like operations and MOSs and stuff, as long as they can keep up with the bare minimum, you know, because you gotta expect you join the military for a reason. You know, join the military for fucking go lollygag and shit. You know, that's how I see it. Especially if you're gonna go to yeah. But like if you're talking like special operations and shit like that's a whole different story. That's the motherfuckers that go do the work. You know, so anybody wants to go out there and put the work in and do it, then I'm all for it. I don't care what you say you are.
Yeah, I'm sure there are female special ops for everything now.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
If they meet the standards, then that's good for them.
Yeah.
I don't want to do it because I don't want to deploy all the time. But, you know, that's why I didn't.
I couldn't fucking do it probably.
And so when you did deploy, you deployed to Djibouti. right?
Yep.
How was that? Like, so when in your career did you deploy, and like, how was it like prepping for all that stuff to be out there?
That was 2015 to 2016. So October to April.
Okay.
I mean, the deployment wasn't hard at all. The training up to it is that you just go through a checklist.
Yeah.
For us, it's not difficult. It's like get your shit and pack your bag.
And that was
Did you do any cool shit while you were there, or what?
I was a photojournalist, so public affairs. While I was there, I was in a joint unit. So we had, you know what? We didn't have any Marines. We had.
Boo. Marines go to Djibouti all the time too.
Yeah, but whenever they were there, they go as a unit, and they
Yeah.
usually have their own PA attached. We actually went out to take some photos of a landing of one of the what is it, the hovercrafts?
Ospreys?
Okay.
No, it was a hovercraft.
Oh, a
like,
hovercraft?
The ones that go in the water.
sea
Yeah.
to the
Oh, okay, yeah. That's really? That's
a
sick.
beach landing. Yeah, because Djibouti is on the water. It's, it's a shithole. It is literally trash on the beach. And I have pictures on my Facebook of like donkeys eating trash on the beach because it's a desert. There's nothing there. They fly food in and they have to bring water in. And like the water that we had on the camp was cleaner than any of the water that they had off camp. So when we went off camp, we weren't allowed to drink the water in the city or we get sick.
Yeah.
Wow.
How'd that make you feel, like being there and seeing that shit?
It was sad. It was really, really fucking sad.
Especially you had to take pictures of that shit or what?
Well, I took pictures of whatever they told me to take pictures of, but like on my personal time, I took pictures when we were traveling, like to and from, and they're between like the beach and the consulate where we went a lot of was like the nice area, but we had to drive through the slums where there are people living in literal like tents made out of plastic trash bags and sticks. Like they put the sticks together and put the trash bag in between it to keep the wind out. But this is also a country that it doesn't get cold. On Christmas, it was 75 degrees. We were in shorts and flip-flops.
I mean, I guess that's the plus side. The plus side to all the suffering.
But there's also no food, like people raise goats and camels and donkeys for food.
Yeah.
So all the food comes in from Ethiopia. There's also a big drug problem there. There's a stimulant that they chew called khat, Khat, and you see the stands all along the side of the road, and it looks like an herb, like basil or something similar. And they would just sell them like in bunches, and they chew it, and they get like really high and frantic and like want to get stuff done, and then like fall off essentially.
And I'm pretty sure I know what you're talking about. So as they keep chewing it and keep using it over and over again, they have to start using it more often, and the high like doesn't last as long. And it's the same.
I don't know, but you could tell when the khat plane came in from Ethiopia because business stops like noon.
Oh,
that's it. If you haven't gotten your business done by then, you're not gonna get business done that day.
Because the reason I say this, because I watched a documentary over that the Captain Phillips movie, and he talked about how the Somali pirates would chew that all day long.
It's like a big regional thing.
Yeah. But it's legal in the United States.
Dead.
It's legal or illegal?
Illegal.
It was illegal for us, but like
it's illegal. Yeah, but it's in the United States too. Yeah.
I never saw it outside of Djibouti. I mean, I knew they flew it in from Ethiopia, but I went to Rwanda.
We do classy drugs in the United States. We do classy drugs.
We're
not chewing on shit. We're doing cocaine off strippers' booty.
You're smoking stuff. That's
yeah, we're smoking. We smoke it. Like a finely wrapped joint or something. None of that shit they do over there. Chewing is old school. Nobody chews anymore. Nobody chews no drugs.
Yeah, that was the sad part. But I also got to go to the presidential palace, which was paid for by China. And it was all gilded in gold and like velvet seats, and like it was just tall and like mirrors everywhere.
And then right outside, you have fucking donkeys eating trash and shit.
Literally piles of trash because there's no dump. There's like barely any running water. Electricity was spotty. So like we generated all our own electricity. We used an incinerator, which was like a couple 100 feet from the container I lived in. So we lived in containers, shipping containers, which were actually really nice. Yeah, they insulated.
Yeah, don't people build like houses with those things?
Yes, that would be really cool. I think that it's pretty. I mean, it's steel, so pretty sturdy.
Yeah.
Not that there was any bad weather in Djibouti. Like I think I saw it rain one time for maybe a minute.
Yeah.
So not something you got to worry about.
Yeah. Well, one second. I'm gonna take a quick break. I gotta walk my dog real quick.
All right, we'll be back. One moment.
He's like looking at me all crazy.
You have a dog?
Yes.
And we're back.
This is my duckling. This is Charlie.
Oh, John.
He follows me everywhere.
How old?
He is 5 years old. He's my Corgi Aussie mix.
Corgi Aussie. Mine's an Australian cattle dog. That dog is amazing. I think getting an animal like after getting out of the military was probably the best decision I ever made.
Dude,
I already had a kid.
I have a red-nosed pit named Sadie, and man, she is the greatest thing ever. She's like a little person. She's a little person.
They're always the sweetest dogs. I don't know why people are scared of them.
I know why people are scared of them.
I mean, I've never been bit by anything but a Chihuahua, so.
Yeah.
I had a Chihuahua. Those fuckers are mean.
I hate them.
Little ankle biters.
Yes.
Yeah, they literally bark at everything.
Ugh.
They literally
My
bark
dad
at
has a
everything.
poodle. I hate poodles.
Why don't you like poodles?
They're mean. They're like people defensive. Like if my dad plays around with us, she'll bite me.
Damn.
Or try to. She's mean. She's cute. Just like a Chihuahua.
Did they have any dogs in Djibouti? Like stray ones and shit?
No, I actually really didn't see any.
They probably ate them all.
The donkeys were all aggressive, like okay, so whenever we went out for the beach landing with the hovercraft with the Marines, we were hanging out and they were like trying to jump on this donkey. There were these donkeys that were wandering around trying to get people's food. And they were like trying to jump on these donkeys.
You think they would eat MREs and shit? If they're eating trash,
yes,
they probably eat MREs.
Yeah. They were trying to eat whatever we would give them. So I was sitting here eating a power bar, and this donkey comes up to me, and I'm like, "Excuse me, go away," because they get like push into your personal space.
Yeah,
which braid in my face.
Which MRE was your favorite one?
None of them.
No, that's a good answer.
Oh, come on.
They were our backup because we always brought like sandwiches and stuff.
What the fuck?
Yeah, no.
I'm about to end this shit. I'm about to end this
okay,
fucking interview right now.
Our backup.
The French would go out with us for training, and the French MREs are like just amazing. Yes, like their shitty food is better. Is it just
than like baguettes in like a bag?
Food. Yeah, like yes.
And frog legs.
They actually, one of the trainings I didn't go on, but one of the other photographers went on. They actually butchered a rabbit and like cooked it up right there and showed the Marines. The French Marines showed the American Marines how to like cook the rabbit.
Yeah, American Marines love that shit. They love that kind of shit. Like they
literally now we're gonna eat it.
They literally sent them to Thailand just to fucking drink cobra blood and shit. Yeah. So every time the way our like photographers and shit like worked with us is like they would just go to any place that had like a major operation going on at the time and just like chill and just fucking take pictures and shoot the shit all the time. Is that basically what you did? Like at the tail end, it was just if there was like this big training exercise in this place, they would just send like one or two of you out there and like to get a bunch of shots.
Yeah, we went in pairs if we went locally. But we would also go to the 10-country coalition around Djibouti. So all the countries that were giving troops to Somalia to like help control that area, we would go and visit these different places. So I got to go to Rwanda and Kenya while I was there. One was like a VIP trip. The CJTF that I was attached to, Combined Joint Task Force for the Horn of Africa, the second in command, the admiral, I went with him on a private plane to Rwanda.
What?
I was the only enlisted person. It was like me and a major and a colonel.
They serve champagne or what?
I mean, it was like a little puddle jumper, like 2x2 private jet. Okay. So
yeah,
that's pretty sick.
Yeah, it was. I mean, all I had to do was go and follow him around and take pictures. And
so did you get like is coining a big thing in the Air Force? Like when
it was when I first joined. Yes.
Okay.
Like you try to collect all the coins. I don't know where my coins are, but yeah, doing honor guard, that was a big thing.
Being around all those like higher ups. I mean, I met Lieutenant General Martinez. He was the commander of Pacific when I was on doing Operation Keen Edge on that Air Force base, and like, fuck, he was passing out coins to every motherfucker. He's like, "What's up, dog? Yeah. Here's a coin." Like, "What's up, dog?" I was like, "Oh shit!"
2 of the Joint Chiefs of Staff, General Dunford, when I was in Africa, and he was so chill, like very John Wayne-esque kind of guy. He was Marine.
John Wayne.
The one before him, I can't remember his name, but he was handing out coins left and right when I was in Vegas. He came for like an NBA event with the veterans and the military. And so I got to go take pictures of like all the NBA players hanging out with the military people.
That's fucking
Vegas was a very busy, but also very fun assignment.
Shit.
Yeah, because we had like celebrities come out to do, like ride-alongs with the Thunderbirds. We had like film crews come out to do follow-alongs with different exercises, because the Air Force does Red Flag, which is the first 10 exercises that a pilot gets to fly like in a real plane, like their plane. The fighter jets against a real enemy. So they do like the aggressors is what the squadron's called, that's there at Nellis.
It's like Top Gun.
Kind of, but like they throw in all kinds of stuff. It's 4 times a year. They do it 2 times they do it with international, and then 2 times it's just the US forces.
It's it's like war games, right?
Yeah,
like war games. Okay.
Yeah, they fly over the range that's out there in Nellis, except for Area 51, which is blacked out. You're not allowed to fly over that.
Have you been there?
Why? Tell us. Are there aliens? What do they have there?
I think they just have buildings out there and another, area to fly over for testing and stuff.
So you don't believe in aliens?
I mean, the words that we got to tell to the public were that the Groom Lake area is just a testing facility
for aliens.
Maybe. One of my husband's coworkers flew Janet, the unmarked plane that flies from the airport to the Groom Lake expansion.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So you never answered the question. Do you believe in aliens? I've
never had any experience with like aliens or ghosts or anything paranormal like that.
You believe in them though?
I wouldn't be, against it. I think it'd be kind of cool. But I've never
It'd be kind of cool.
I mean, as long as they're not like doing any kind of like cutting or, taking pieces or anything crazy like that, then that would not be cool.
So anal probing still on the table?
Not gonna say yes or no for that one.
Yeah, I mean, all that shit with the Pentagon like releasing those fucking videos. My fucking dog, Jesus Christ. Of like the UFOs and shit, and how like the government can't fucking keep a fucking straight face. It's fucking, yo, you need to back the fuck off.
Oh, he loves you.
Yeah, he does. I think he was like actually trying to fuck my arm or something. But I'm just fucking brother. Anyways, I'll transition here because I'm gonna go down an alien rabbit hole and I'm never gonna get out of it.
I don't know.
Do it.
Yeah. So you, after doing that, right? What made you get? So you already done 10 years. You're at 10 years. Why did you want to get out then? Like, why not just commit to another 10?
I would have actually.
Yeah.
So like what I normally tell people is I got out because my husband and I were both active duty. It was really hard to do dual military. Yes, it was hard, but really the answer is I got fucked over. I came back from a deployment. I had like 4 tests that I had to take, like an upgrade training test, my PT test, and then there was another test that I had to take.
Mm-hmm.
And I was running the public affairs section for leading 3 other airmen doing media relations in a slot that was supposed to be a lieutenant slot. So I was doing the job of an officer.
Yeah.
Without the support and without the people that I needed. And after I got out, actually, our commander got fired
Damn.
for failure to, what was it? Loss of trust.
Oh, loss of. Oh yeah, yeah. Fucking holy shit! That just reminded me, Chris. Like that 3-3. That just happened to 3-3.
With they have a new BC that we was it?
Yeah. The BC and the sergeant major got fucking shit canned.
Oh fuck.
Yeah.
This is
I
why.
don't know
was-
exactly,
fucking-
but
Yeah. I didn't look. They didn't really release like why, but
they're not
they
going
said it was
to.
because it was like loss of trust and leadership
Yeah.
and all that shit. Blah blah blah. Yeah, that's fucking crazy. That's fucking insane.
Well,
Like
what happened was I failed my upgrade training test, and they asked me like,
what does that consist of?
it's just studying the book for your career field.
Yeah.
But they counted the time that I was deployed as my study time, even though I wasn't supposed to be counted. It was
Yeah.
supposed to be paused while I was deployed because I'm supposed to do the deployment, not the study.
Yeah.
So I had to come back and take all those tests, and that was the one I bombed. Like I didn't pass the test. So public affairs falls under a different. So we fall under the wing, like whoever is in charge of the base. We go directly to them for work, but for administrative purposes, we fall under another unit. And the unit I fell under was the finance unit, and the commander had never met me. The first sergeant had never met me, and most of my office was like deploying or deployed or was new. So nobody really knew all that I was doing, and nobody was helping me. And when I told the commander and the first sergeant that, the first sergeant like turned on me. She was like, why would you throw your command under the bus? And I was like, they didn't give me time to study. Everything I was studying for, I had to do after the 12 hours that I was working doing media relations, because that kind of stuff doesn't really stop. You get media inquiries all the time. So we were on call, like, every couple weeks.
Yeah.
Creating the phone to answer media queries. Because especially in Vegas, like shit happens,
Yeah.
Somebody, like jump the fence and break their neck on the way down trying to, I don't know what he was doing, but taking pictures of, like buildings and like pieces of random fencing and stuff, because we had to go through his camera.
Yeah.
So like stuff like that we have to answer questions for.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
And
So I got out. My commander just
your
didn't let
decision
me
was like,
re-enlist.
oh, that's what it was? You weren't allowed to re-enlist?
Yes, because I was like 30 days out from re-enlisting. I was gonna go do my paperwork with legal, and he was like, I'm not gonna sign it because you didn't pass your upgrade training. Cool.
What do I do? Could you have like extended? Like does the Air Force offer that like a form, like a what?
I really should have taken it to the IG because he had no idea who I was. He had no idea what I did. The first sergeant had never met me before. I'd been gone for 7 months.
Yeah.
Nobody advocated for me. And I didn't really know what the fuck to do. So I really just told my airmen, hey, I'm getting let go. I'm getting out in 30 days. And I had to figure my life out at that point.
Jesus Christ.
Thankfully, I have a husband who is super supportive and is active duty and can take care of me.
Yeah.
Because if not, I would have had to move back home and move in with my mom.
Yeah.
Or my dad,
Yeah.
And figure life out with a kid from there. But, I would have stayed is the answer, because I loved public affairs.
Yeah.
I loved the chaos that it was, answering questions all the time, and, setting up big events. We put together the air show the year before I got out. We put together those exercises, any kind of media interaction. We had to deal with all of that. I enjoyed it a lot. That was a much better job for me than sitting answering help desk questions all day.
Yeah.
So that's why I'm trying to get back into it now.
Yeah. So you're trying to get back into it in like the civilian sector.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because did you ever contemplate like trying to like see like a prior service recruiter to get back in, or to at least join a different branch doing the
So
same
I
thing?
did the reserve right after. So
Yeah.
the day after my active duty, I signed a contract for the reservist. I did 2 years, almost 3 years on traditional reserve status
Mm-hmm.
and had a job outside of that. And the reservists that I dealt with were not enthusiastic about their job.
Yeah.
So because I failed my upgrade training, I had to go back to the job I was before, which was the help desk.
Oh, fuck.
Yeah. So I was there on the weekends when none of the rest of the base is really there.
Yeah.
Except for like emergencies. So we really didn't do a ton. I literally just did training, like annual training every weekend. I did a little bit of annual training. I would not, unless you already have a really good job and just want to supplement it, the reserves, it was not for me.
And did you have to fulfill some obligation, or was it like you could just leave anytime you wanted?
I PCS with my husband from Vegas to Mississippi to Keesler.
Mm-hmm.
And I was supposed to move to a unit there, and I did not. So they just cut my contract.
Okay.
Because I had already hit my, like your 8 years of obligated service. I was past that.
Okay, so they just didn't give a shit.
Yeah, pretty much. They were like, well, we don't have a spot for you in Mississippi, even though we said we did.
Yeah.
They ended up trying to put me in a job that I wasn't trained for. And they didn't want to pay to retrain me. So they essentially said, I'm sorry. And they, Vegas was like, what are you doing? I was like, they don't have a spot for me. And they're like, all right, well, that's the end of your contract. Here's your paperwork.
That does happen, like even in the Marine Corps sometimes. Like I had buddies that we were in with that like they tried to re-enlist and they're like, no, there's no seat open. Like, sorry, get fucked.
What I'm trying to wrap my head around right now is that I've never heard up until this point a horror story about the Air Force. I've never heard a horror story about the Air Force. I've never heard about.
Jobs were pretty good.
Yeah.
The conditions were usually great. When I was here at Meade the first time, I actually got like $20 a month for substandard living pay because I had to live in the dorms on the NSA campus. And they were so
got paid extra for just living in the barracks.
$20 a month for living in Army barracks. Yeah.
I know.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is insane.
But no, I got screwed.
Yeah, you got shafted at the end. That's after giving them 10
really
years.
On them because that whole office fell apart after I left. Not because of me, but because they saw that there was no support for the people that were doing the work. Because it's such a high level job.
Yeah.
They don't see what you do on a day-to-day basis. Like you're pretty much left on your own, like here, like the NCOs run the office. We had one officer who we barely ever saw, our commander who eventually got fired. We had 2 senior NCOs. We were supposed to have a lieutenant. We did not. So yeah, it was kind of a cluster.
Yeah. Jesus.
I was just in the wrong place at the wrong time.
Yeah.
Essentially.
Never heard anything bad about the Air Force. I've never heard one person be like, oh, Air Force fucked me. Or like, I fucking hated it when I was in the Air Force. Never in my life.
Very, very bitter whenever I got out.
Yeah.
I was like, they fucked me. But I mean, if I really wanted to stay in, I probably would have fought harder.
Yeah.
At that point, I was at the point in my career where I was like, they're using me. Like I was doing all the work for the section, me and my airmen. I was somebody's babysitter all the time. Like I had airmen who did not want to show up to work.
Yeah.
Like I literally had to call their mom and be like, you need to talk to your son because he's not coming into work on time.
Yeah.
Like he didn't care how much paperwork he got.
That shouldn't happen in the Marine Corps. Your ass didn't show up. You were getting fucked.
Like he got paperwork.
Your life is, he doesn't. Oh, we don't do more.
We don't do paperwork. There's no paperwork. There's no. They don't know how to read anyways. They don't know how to read or write anyways. Like,
see, that's what the difference is, though. Like, their Air Force is very regimented. Like, you have to do the levels of punishment, and you can't. Like, if you're not gonna do it, then you can't make somebody else do it as a supervisor. Like, I'm not gonna go run with them. I can't make them run.
Yeah.
So could you do that though? Could you like be like, hey, like we're gonna go for a fucking run after work? Like,
I mean, I hate running, so no, I'm never gonna do that. Once I got out, I stopped running.
Would that be allowed as like using NCO? Could you like take like your airman and like we're running tonight? and like take them on runs, like when like they don't have a
If
choice.
you would do it, you could make them do it. Yes.
Okay. That was a thing that like happened to us like all the time. Like it was like, no, you're not going home. You're changing in the green on green. We're gonna go fucking run 3 miles because you want to fucking play games.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I didn't want to do that. So I would just be like, well, you got 8 more stories to write now, so have fun with that.
Oh shit.
All the airmen that were under me hadn't had any other experience in public affairs. That was the only job they knew. So public affairs was great because you could go do somebody else's job for a day or two, and then you don't have to do it if you don't like it. Or you could shadow somebody for a week or two if you really wanted to get in that job and get to know that job in depth and write a story about it. It was amazing. And we got to go on like, you know, the B2s and the B1s, and we got to see every single jet that came in to Nellis. Or I got to fly on Osprey. I got to fly on a AC-130 and, you know, see, you know, help load the shells for the, you know, all the guns that they have on there. And I didn't have to do it the next day. You know, it was an amazing job. But all these airmen were like, I like to write stories. I had some really good airmen too. I did have some really good airmen that I still talk to. Yeah.
Ones that you're close to?
I mean, I keep in touch with them, but like keeping friends outside of the military is kind of hard sometimes.
Yeah. It's very hard. And you went from, you know, active duty, and you said luckily like your husband is still in, and so you went from active duty to dependa. And so I think you spoke about it when we were in class one day about how when you talk to people and you meet new people and they find out that, you know, your husband serves, they assume that you didn't, and that you're
even when
just
I was active duty, they were like,
and even whenever you're in civilian clothes, even when you're in active duty, they did the same thing.
They were like, oh, what's your husband do? It's like, well, we're both in the Air Force. Just because I don't have like, you know, G.I. Jane haircut. Which actually the Air Force could not do it. Whenever I was active, you couldn't shave your head like that.
Yeah.
The women had to have hair that was like 2 or 3 inches long.
Oh, okay. It's like a little butch kind of thing going on.
Yeah, you can have like
Hey, since you brought it up, what's you guys' all opinion about the whole Will Smith thing?
Okay, so I was listening to Mike Rowe. I don't know if you ever listen to any of those podcasts. How I heard it, and he was talking about Scientology during that, and Will Smith's a big Scientologist, and apparently the whole physical abuse, essentially, like showing your dominance physically, is a big thing in Scientology, according to the guest he had on, who was in it. Like she was one of their like PR people, but she was also like a slave, essentially.
Yeah, I watched they have what's the one documentary? It's I think
Leah Remini.
Yeah.
This was pre after they published that, but it was the girl that kind of like set that on the path.
Oh, okay.
So apparently that's a big thing, and I think that's what it was. Like he I think he was out of his damn mind. I think he needs some help. Personally, that was not a good idea. Like he just ruined his career.
Yeah, he really did. Like now he's banned for 10 years, and only 10 years. And I mean he's already withdrawn from
the public,
like from the academy as well. And so I mean, and a lot of this stuff's like on pause right now, but I think director Michael Bay was like, nah, I'll still fucking work with him. But yeah, I mean, when it happened, like, first of all, I wasn't watching it because I don't think anyone actually watches that shit anymore. No. Especially, I'm not gonna lie, the lineup this year, pretty fucking weak. It was a pretty fucking weak lineup. I was pretty unimpressed with a lot of the shit that they were voting on. And I mean, I don't want to sound like a fucking movie snob, but like that's just how it is. I was just I didn't really like anything that was there. And so I just wake up next morning and I just see this fucking shit. I was like, there's no way this is real.
Yeah,
I thought it was fucking fake. Yeah, I thought it was fake.
It was staged. You think it was staged?
No. I mean, there was that theory. There are people that believe that it is. And I'm just like, no, I mean, think about it, like, it's his livelihood, right? Like his public image is his livelihood. Like that motherfucker earns millions and millions of dollars.
Well, he just did the revamp of the Fresh Prince. He was in on that.
Yeah.
I think he was one of the producers on that.
Yeah. So he's, his bread and butter is being out there and being able to be involved in projects and shit. And now, like,
nobody's gonna touch him for a long time now.
Exactly. He's
like Johnny
the
Depp.
fucking,
Yeah.
He's like the kid on the playground with license shit. You know, you gotta, one day they're gonna just have to shave his head and fucking get him back out there. But
he'll have a comeback at some point, I think.
Yeah,
I think another point of view that I look at it from too is like he fucking did it. He slapped the fuck out of Chris Rock, like slapped the shit out of him for saying a fucking joke that wasn't even bad.
Yeah,
like that's
and
fucked
like
up.
he was laughing at it, and then he saw that his wife was like, "That wasn't fucking funny," and then he was like, "Oh shit, I gotta do something."
Yeah, that's the one thing that about him, like actually smacking him. Like Chris Rock is a fucking professional. That dude is a straight up professional.
He handled that very well.
He handled didn't react and poorly. Yeah, didn't fucking swing back and make.
Well, he stopped himself from saying something.
Yeah, and
rightfully
so, because he preserved his image. If anything, he people respect him even more.
Yeah,
I'm sure there's some people that are out there that don't respect him. They're like, "Oh, what a bitch! He just took that and didn't do shit." But I'm not one of those people. I think it was a very honorable thing not to buy into Will Smith's bullshit. But unfortunately, like, I think a lot of people are worried about the precedent that it sets. It sets with, people free speech. I think free speech is a big thing right now, especially with Elon Musk, buying Twitter or trying to buy Twitter, to fucking, promote free speech. And, now it's like comedians can't even fucking, now they have
say
to
shit now. Yeah.
Now, they're walking on eggshell carpets every time they go up.
And that's how they make their living, is telling jokes.
Yeah, like making people uncomfortable.
Yeah,
making people uncomfortable and getting us to laugh about our vulnerabilities. Yeah. And now that's in jeopardy because of that stupid fucking thing.
Because the fucking woke mob.
There's more stuff going on with Will Smith behind the scenes, is what I think, that we don't know about. And
you think he's gay? There's a rumor.
There's a rumor that he's gay.
There's a rumor
I don't know about. I don't know. I think that he overreacted. There was something going on with him and Jada backstage, or like the day before, whatever.
Yeah.
And he overreacted.
Yeah. A whole heart.
And then he won, and then he went up on stage.
The memes were fucking hilarious, though.
Dude, the memes, oh god, instantaneous.
Keep fucking my wife's mouth.
I mean,
I will.
Chris Rock got some good publicity from that.
Like, he did.
If he wasn't already big enough, he probably is bigger now.
Yeah. That was. It is funny. It's funny to laugh at. I'm not gonna lie. Like I enjoy laughing at the whole thing. But I do feel bad. I understand, that it's a poor representation, especially if like the communities that value these two men. Like. I looked up to Will Smith. I used to watch fucking Fresh Prince all the fucking time. I loved every one of his fucking movies, even the shitty ones. I was like, at least it's Will Smith. Like, like
Aladdin.
Yeah, Aladdin, cringe. Fucking, was it Earth? The one with his son when he's on
After Earth.
After Earth, garbage. And I was like,
I never watched it.
But like Pursuit of Happiness, 7 Pounds.
Yeah.
Like those movies made me
I Am Legend.
Cry. I Am Legend. Like all just beautiful fucking movies, and all that out the fucking window. And I was super stoked that he got nominated for King Richard, and I hadn't even seen it yet.
I didn't see it,
and I was like, oh, I'm so fucking. I was like, especially if he wins this shit, like I can't wait to watch this movie. He pulls that shit. I haven't seen the movie. I just don't even fucking feel like watching it.
Yeah,
I'm not interested anymore. I'm just not even interested in watching it anymore.
Yeah, I'm sure that those whole box office went like.
Yeah.
That sucks.
Yeah. Yeah, but
what you do?
Yeah, good for him. He won at least. I mean, I think that he had other roles too that he should have won like previously in his career. But I'm glad I'm like happy for him in that regard. I don't think it should be taken away. I think those two experiences are different. There's no correlation between.
That's the question though. Like, how do you separate the art from the artist?
Yeah.
Like, the whole Kevin Spacey thing. He's an amazing actor, but like
he's a fucking pedophile
person.
Yeah. That's just true. Michael Jackson allegedly.
J.K. Rowling. I love Harry Potter, Fantastic Beasts, that old nerdy stuff.
Yeah.
But her comments. How do you separate that, right?
Yeah.
That's
So
the
you're
hard
one.
part.
So you're one of those fans. Then you're one of those fans that is kind of anti J.K. Rowling right now.
I mean, I have friends in the LGBTQ plus.
Yeah.
I myself am bi, so
Yeah.
and when I was in, Don't Ask, Don't Tell was a thing.
Yeah.
I actually had an airman that I worked with in the land mobile radio office that got kicked out essentially because of it.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, because she was living with another girl.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
It's so crazy to think that that's not even that long ago.
No, this was 2012.
Yeah, that's not that long.
Like 10 years ago.
10 years ago, you can literally get kicked out because you're gay. The stupidest shit I've ever fucking
That wasn't
heard.
the official reason she got kicked out. She got kicked out for like providing testing material to another person.
Yeah.
That was like the official.
But they were like they were finding reasons. Like they found reasons.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or they just fucking made them up. Like that's what I'm talking about. Like that's fucking insane. That's insane. Like we serve with gay people, Chris. Like you and I serve with gay people.
Yeah.
Like
And trans people too. They're, you work right next to somebody who's trans. You'll never know.
yeah, actually we did have one.
Yeah.
And yeah, everyone knew that one. And I knew of another one. But in the Marines, super taboo. Like
There's a lot of
super
touchy,
super taboo.
feely in the Marines though.
Yeah, but that's voluntary.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But
so, I mean,
so
like,
yeah, transgenderism in the Marine Corps is super taboo. Like almost like it's like an unwritten like agreement that don't do it while you're in kind of thing.
Yeah.
And of course,
yeah,
you
I mean, I don't know anybody that publicly came out to me while I was in that was trans, but I know somebody who gay people that I worked with, my airmen, who couldn't officially like say anything, but
yeah.
they were serving, they were doing their job,
Yeah. I mean, they had no problem. Marines has no problem with gay people. They don't really give a shit about that. But the transgender people, they think it makes. They're so like mission oriented and just like narrow. They're just like goal driven, so ambitious that they're blinded to everything else, and like anything else outside of their ambition of like accomplishing whatever goal the Marine Corps has their mindset on, like it's just a distraction. And they don't like to deal with distractions.
Eventually we'll outgrow this. Like the people that are coming up below us and below, the airmen that I had are much more open-minded.
Well, then I think also
that's
needs
the
to
Air
come with
Force. That's also the Air Force.
Yeah.
The Air Force is pretty progressive.
I think with the whole trans thing too, it needs to become like a case by case thing, because not just because it's
how do you fund something?
Well, if you look at it, if you look at it though, you just gotta look at it this way though. What is the suicide percentage for military, and then for veterans, and what is the suicide ratio or level for transgender? Why would you want to miss
that?
Yeah, like why would you want to put them in that situation to have that happen?
You can't, but I don't think that's.
And then also,
I don't think that's fair to judge someone upon that. This is why I don't know about the Air Force, but the Marines, there's no fucking psychological evaluation that you go through before getting in. Like it's literally like, are you depressed? No. Have you ever been depressed? No.
I didn't ask me any of those questions.
Yeah, exactly, and that's it. So. I don't
They're
think
like, are you going to give us your medical records? I was like, no. They were like, all right, cool.
Yeah, it's like shit like that. Like, I don't think it's fair to like start judging these people coming into like the service and basically trying to predict, oh, they're going to be like this much depressed, or they're going to be this more inclined to commit suicide compared to the next. How we showered, would you be fine with just guy, or would like all the girls be fine with people who think like identify as a girl, like just dudes walking in the shower? Like, think all the girls be comfortable with that, or now we're gonna start segregating shower stalls and stuff like that? That's what I'm talking about.
I had like open bay showers was basic training, and we were all staring at each other like, oh, she got nice titties. Like, oh, look at that.
I'm not talking about that. I'm talking like how many of those girls could be comfortable with like grown ass men, like 30-year-old men walking in there with you. and like being around you, like showering right next to you, like how many would be actually comfortable with that?
So
That's
really
what we gotta think of too.
That's where like it becomes a little gray, and
well, like, okay, so
and the military is more about
Ready
if
for
we the military is the point is not to like be so inclusive. That's why we have standards and stuff like that. Like, are we going to take people who are 200 pounds overweight? Why not?
I mean, there have been a lot of waivers, especially in the
not
Guard
not in
Reserve.
the, not in the Marine Corps. Not in the
Have
Marine
you
Corps.
seen
You
the
can't be 200 pounds
Reservosaurus
overweight.
Rexes?
yeah,
it might be for the Air Force, but like how I see it is mental health is an issue. I get that, right?
yeah,
Yes, definitely.
And being transgender and being around people, like, might not people comfortable. People are not okay with that. This is a new thing, all right? So the military's point isn't to.
It is, but it isn't.
yeah.
Well, so my thing is, I really feel like a lot of the people in leadership in the military are kind of still stuck in like the 50s mindset. Like, we still have to maintain haircuts, and you can't have a beard. Girls have to have their hair, tucked back and look presentable. You have to shave your legs if you're a woman. You can't have hair sticking out from your stockings. That's still written in the
why guys can't have to have a shaved face in like the Marine Corps is, for example, is for like a gas mask won't seal in your face.
Norway, Germany, Sweden, they all came in with full beards.
Oh yeah, I know, but you cannot tell me. You cannot tell me. Yeah, you can't tell me that and that if somebody has a big ass beard, it's gonna seal perfectly like skin will. I don't believe it.
How many times did you wear your Kim gear? Ever?
A lot.
Ever.
A lot.
Training,
and it would still leak. And it would still leak if I sweat a little bit. So I can't imagine sweating with hair.
Did you ever have to put on your gas mask that was not training?
No.
Ever. No. Because if you ever got to the point where you had to put your gas mask on, you're all fucking dead and infected anyway.
Yeah, that's so true. That's so true.
Like,
because they never give you actual real filters. They're all training filters.
No, we got real filters.
And maybe you guys
would have to carry it with you, carry your gas mask, and have the right filters on. I didn't carry any of my Kim gear when I was in Djibouti. None.
Yeah, they're not gassing people out there.
I mean, you live next to the whole incinerator that's 500 feet from you.
Yeah.
That's why I'm filing a new VA claim.
Yeah. What? Do you get poop lung? Were they burning shit out there?
Yeah, no, they burned everything. Everything. The paper plates that we used, the medical equipment that was disposable, all of it was burned because there was nowhere to put it in Djibouti. Like, right outside of camp, there were piles of trash from the community because they didn't have a dump. So, yeah. 9 o'clock, the incinerator turns on, you don't go outside. It's horrible.
I apologize to whoever's listening that is like a eco-friendly person and had to sit through there and like listen to that. Like, just cringe, just like, oh, like all that just shit going into the air, burning. Like,
yeah, the military is not eco-friendly.
Yeah, definitely not. And they always preach like reuse, reduce, recycle, and minimize your footprint.
Oh, and there are green buildings, and we spent millions of dollars on these, like self-heating buildings, or we have solar panels or whatever, but like a jet crashes, that whole area is contaminated.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's
we try to go solar a little bit. We with the greens gear. With the biggest fucking waste of space in my entire life.
Like a panel that you had to carry with you or something?
No, it was like
those were like the spacers. I think they were called spacers. No. It was 14 fucking Pelican cases. 14 Pelican cases that we had to lug around. Like, it would literally fill up the back, like an entire Humvee, like the back of a high back Humvee.
So you had to pay for gas for the Humvee. The diesel. I'm sorry, it's diesel. For the Humvee to bring this green technology with you.
Everywhere. We had to bring it everywhere with us. And then
on the field.
Out in the field, and it was such a fucking bitch to set up.
And somebody had to maintain it. Somebody who knew how to use it.
Yep. Me. Yeah.
Didn't it get like windy and like all of them blow over and like almost fucking break one time?
Yeah. And that happened all the fucking time.
I just remember like PTA, like the whole. I remember the whole.
Somebody got promoted for that,
Yeah. Yeah. So
that good idea, Colonel up there.
Because we used to just
give them solar panels.
Because we used to just get our power whenever we're out in the field and stuff, like from the Humvee. Like they had a slave cable, and we would just run the power from there. And then they're like came up with this brilliant fucking idea to give us 14 Pelican cases, filled with a bunch of shit, give us like a 30-minute class on how to fucking use it, tell us that you cannot there's like these 4 fucking battery boxes, and they literally look like nuclear codes. Like they got the buttons on the fucking thing. It's like, oh, like if I press this button, maybe it opens it up and I got to turn a key and then bye China kind of thing. And there's 4 of them. And you have to fucking like you literally could not let it get lower than, I think it was like 25%. If you got lower than 25% battery, it was done. You couldn't recharge it again. Like
that sounds useless.
Yeah, exactly. My point exactly.
How many were broken? Because I know y'all don't get new equipment very often.
I never personally broke any, but on like the first try, a different company fucking did. And it was just a shit show. It was just the stupidest fucking thing ever. But yeah, I mean, at least they're trying, I guess, somewhat. They're trying to put some effort into.
An effort is being made.
Yeah.
The Air Force actually had an incentive program called the IDEA program. Before I left Las Vegas, we did a story on an airman who found a way to recycle the canisters that do the ejection seats for the pilots.
Yeah.
So before they would just toss them. They're garbage.
Yeah.
Like not even recycle the container, just went to the dump. And he found a way to recycle them, to reuse them, and actually put the gas back in there, like reuse them essentially, which they'd never done before, and saved the Air Force like billions of dollars.
Jesus Christ.
And
I mean, how often were these motherfuckers ejecting? Like,
I mean, training exercises, but they can only fly so many hours before it's not any good anymore, right?
Yeah.
Like they have like a death time or, like whatever.
Yeah, so how are they eject? Like what's happening to this plane when they eject? They're just dumping these planes, like crashing them somewhere or something?
No, I mean, it was just essentially like they fly so many hours and they can't use that canister anymore.
Oh, so they replace it. They just take it out. They don't actually like use it.
Yeah, they would just like empty let the gas expel.
Take it out,
let the gas expel, and then they toss it.
I thought these motherfuckers were just straight up just like, oh, we have to use this thing. It's about to expire. Like ejecting out of these fucking planes.
I mean, we did have planes go down. When I was at Nellis, we had a couple planes go down.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's a just in case CYA kind of thing,
Yeah.
I wouldn't want to do it, but yeah, he got incentivized. I think he got a couple $1,000 bonus or something.
That was it?
Yeah, it was crazy. He was like, I was so excited I got a bonus. And like, you should have gotten like promoted and gotten all that money that you saved the military.
Yeah.
He got a good job, pat on the back.
They'll rob you blind. Yeah, they'll fucking rob you blind. Have you had any problems with like dealing with the Air Force or like the VA like after you got out?
I mean, I got like claims denied, of course.
Yeah.
I mean, everybody fights with that.
Yeah. Have you did you like appeal them and stuff?
I am working on that because in the last year I got like a CPAP. They did the whole burn pit thing, which I was on the registry before I got out. And just a couple other things. I don't have like a ton of major stuff. I just get like sinus migraines. Like tracking that, I get those a couple times a month.
Yeah.
It's like I'm done. I can't function. I can't see. I can't hear anything. My ears hurt. My eyes hurt. I have to go in a dark room. Like
and play heavy metal
problems. Like silence. Like I gotta be out of the public.
Yeah. Do you have any advice to give about people going in, people getting out?
Document everything.
Yeah.
Like, keep a copy of everything. Like trying to get medical records. Like
yeah.
trying to get
I'm doing that right now. I'm doing that right now.
My claims file. I requested October 2020. I still don't have it. The file that the VA keeps on you after you do your compensation and pension exam, saying why they awarded you this, that you think they would give you, but they don't. You have to ask for it.
Yeah.
You have to do a Privacy Act request and request it. I did get something in the mail saying, oh, our letters are delayed, so you're going to have to wait for your decision. They could mail me that letter, but they couldn't mail me my decision letter. And it's not online anywhere. I can't see my C-file online.
And this is the Maryland VA?
This is the VA in like the big
Just in
VA.
general? The big VA.
Yeah, I can see like all of my reports. Like every year we had enlisted progress reports, kind of. So like I can see all of those. I can see my Article 15. I can see all the paperwork that I ever got in the military that they kept on file, but the claims file, I cannot see why they gave me the decision they gave me. So I don't know.
Weird.
So I gotta wait for that.
Because I thought they show you. Did you go through e-benefits or you went straight to the?
No, I did it all online, yeah. And I just went through and was like, yep, that bothers me. Yep,
if you go on there, if you go on e-benefits, it breaks it down for you.
It tells you what the benefits are and if you were service connected or not, but it doesn't tell you why. It doesn't tell you what the decision is. Like I got denied for sinusitis.
Yeah.
Now it's a
not service connected.
It just says not service connected.
Yeah.
Even though now it's a presumptive condition, which is why I did an intent to file in September. So I have till September and I will get back paid for that. Hopefully. Eventually.
Eventually.
Keep your records, especially your medical records. Use apps to track symptoms if you're having issues. Like I'm telling my husband this now because he's 2 years from retirement.
He's 18. Nice. He's at 18 years?
He's at like 17 and a half, yeah.
17 and a half?
Nice.
Damn, let's go. What's your guys' plan like on the outside here pretty soon? You both will be.
He wants to go and retire near his family in their North Georgia near the Tennessee border.
Okay.
So up in the mountains somewhere.
That'd be nice.
And you're all
Get
for
some
that?
land. Yeah, because like we have like a third of an acre here. Not even like 0.28 acres here.
Yeah.
And the area we live in is Severna Park. It's really nice and it's walkable to a lot of stuff, but I want more space.
Yeah.
I don't like people that much. No, I'm joking.
Yeah.
I want land and animals and I garden. I grow microgreens.
Okay.
I have like a 250 square foot garden now. So
nice.
Yeah. To be honest with you, for the longest time, like in class and everything, I always thought behind you was just like a shit ton of loofahs. Like
it kind of does look like it.
It looked like loofahs, like just color coordinated. I was like, God damn! I was like, she must be going through these things.
I love loofahs. Every week I have a new loofah.
It's like Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday loofahs.
Man, you can't clean downstairs and then clean your face with the same thing.
Oh shit!
I learned to crochet when I was 10, so it's been a hobby to keep my hands busy, which really helps when you have ADHD.
Yeah.
And I also got that within the last year too.
And do you sell all that stuff? You sell, like, do you crochet and you sell it? Like,
no, I really just give it to friends and family.
Oh wow! Because like set up like that, I thought it looked like you'd be like running a shop or something.
No, this is my hoard. The microgreens though, like I'm working on trying to set that up for a business. That's really just me. I have to go out and like interact with people, and that's the hard part.
Well, like try to sell them these greens.
Yeah, like I know how to grow it. I know that whole process, and I have the stuff to do it. I just have to get out there and do it.
Yeah.
But I mean, the VA has a track where they will do entrepreneurship, pay for you to be set up to make a business. And I have the pitch. I'm sure I could do it, but they don't want you to do that first. So I'm in the vocational rehab program through the VA to go to school.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm not using my GI Bill right now.
Okay.
I was, and then I got accepted into the vocational rehab because I'm over 30%, I think is the cutoff.
Okay.
Yeah.
And that's how you're going to school right now?
Yep, they pay for all your tuition and your books, and you get a stipend.
Yeah, so just like the GI Bill.
Yeah.
It's like the GI Bill, but you don't have to pay for books. Like they pay all the books.
The GI Bill pays for all the books.
You get $1,000 a year cap.
Yeah.
So if your books are more than $1,000 a year, then you have to pay.
I mean, who's paying more than that for their books?
If you're going to a 4-year university, Those books can be, depending on what they are, medical books $400-500 a piece.
Hell no.
Yeah.
I mean, luckily I'm not doing that. I'm doing the same thing. I'm doing communications just like you.
Yeah. The vocational rehab is the way to go. I would do entrepreneurship if I thought my coordinator would sign off on it, but
yeah,
I don't think she would. She's really nice though. She worked a lot with me because I was gonna do physical therapy assistant before, and science is really hard.
Yeah, that's just no joke. Technically, communications is considered a science.
Arts and sciences.
And it's sciences. It's just the artsy kind.
It's a little more creative.
So are you going to use your GI Bill or no? Like eventually, or are you able to pass it on to your kid?
No, you'd have to do that before you got out, and my husband already signed his over.
Oh, okay. So he's not going to use his.
I'll use it for some kind of certificate or something. I used some of it already. I went to massage school right after I got out.
Okay.
And got a massage license. And then paid money to transfer it here, but it's not the same. So
you got a massage license? That's pretty crazy.
I have a active massage license, yes, until the end of August.
That's pretty sick.
It was like $750 to transfer it from Mississippi to here.
Do you actually you practice for a while? No, you never used it.
Because Maryland has different requirements. You have to have an associate's degree in a science to practice in a clinic. And I was working with a chiropractor before we moved. And I don't want to work in a spa because I worked at Massage Envy too. And that is just so commercial.
Yeah.
They're like, you got 5 minutes to do everything between clients. I'm like, there's no way. Even after COVID, when we were doing extra cleaning, like sanitizing every surface, we only had 5 minutes to get the person out, clean the whole room, reset it, and get the new person in.
And so you weren't
actually fucking wait.
Yeah, so you weren't actually giving massages then.
Most of the time, no, I was waiting for people. I spent more time in the hallway doing this. But I enjoy working at the chiropractor, but Maryland's not the same.
Yeah. And you were just like, fuck it, let me go back to school.
Yeah. Well, I worked at the post office over 2020, the holiday season from October to March.
Doing what? Actually delivering mail and shit?
No, I worked in the back and then at the window. So customer service and distributing the packages. So we would come in before the mail carriers came in and put all the packages in their different lanes, like different boxes. And then we also, not me, but another window clerk also distributed their mail for them.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it was like a 4 o'clock in the morning kind of thing. And
Jesus
I'm not a 4 o'clock in the morning kind of girl.
I did that too much already. I'm done.
Holy shit.
Yeah, I was living at the post office because everybody was buying stuff online, and we do the last, post office does the last mile for everything. So like Amazon, FedEx, UPS all came into the post office, and I was distributing that stuff at 4 o'clock in the morning, and then going to the window once the window opened and dealing with people. Oh yeah.
Christ. That sounds like it sucked.
That's why I went back to school.
So post office to school then.
Yeah.
And then you're like, I'm going to use this time and this degree to get back into PR and get out there and start taking photos again.
I'm hoping more like the marketing kind of crisis communication, PR, social media kind of area, because I did that when I was into.
Okay.
Social media is easy.
And you like that? You like that a lot better than the traditional stuff?
I mean, I don't want to sell stuff to anybody. That's not my thing. But I would like to work with a nonprofit or like a zoo or aquarium or something similar. That's
that'd be nice.
That'd be super dope.
Something that helps people or helps animals. That's my goal.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we'll see how that goes.
And so what do you feel about like how you're established now, and you looking for this position to like travel a whole lot, or you kind of want to stay local, you want to stay around?
Don't really travel that much.
Okay.
A lot of it's telecommuting. I mean, I wouldn't mind doing photos for there were a couple breweries around here that were hiring.
Oh, dope.
But I don't have a degree, so.
Yeah.
And everything's online now, so you get filtered out automatically.
Yeah.
Which sucks. So that's why I use the VA to go back to school.
Yeah. That's a great idea.
One of the good things about being in the military.
About not being able to stay in. Is it you get to
No.
use the benefits?
I really enjoyed my last part of my job. I learned a ton of skills, mostly people skills. I can tell somebody to fuck off very nicely.
Yeah.
That's one of the
I'm
things
very
I
good at that
learned.
too, actually.
Yeah, it may be a computer skill, dealing with people who have broken computers. So
Right on.
good
my
things
job
and
now,
bad
so.
things.
Yeah. I think we'll wrap it up here. Chris, you have the outro?
Yep. All right.
I just want to say, Tori, thank you for coming on. This was super
course.
dope.
Yeah,
Such an honor having
for
you
having
on, the
you.
first female.
I appreciate it. Yeah.
And we really
Any
hope you
last
enjoyed
words?
it.
No, I mean, I really appreciate you guys having me on, and I hope that you get more women on.
Yeah, we're looking forward to it. Yeah. Why did you say any last words? Like you were like gonna kill her or something?
Fuck, man. I don't know. I'm a little ripped.
He's like, any last words? I'm like, Jesus Christ.
Any last words? All right. Well, here we are. You stuck with us all the way to the end. We thank you for listening. Well, let us just know that if your pack becomes too heavy, don't drop it. The Veteran Crisis Hotline can be reached at 1-800-273-8255. If you'd like to enjoy more content, don't forget to subscribe, simplify, and keep rolling on.
Aim high.
Where they say hooah? Tori, thanks for coming on.
Yeah,
Pleasure.
good time.
Yeah, I'll probably post this up probably on Wednesday. Yeah, it'll be up on Wednesday.
Yep.
Just in time. Yeah, just in time for 420.